I was working, and I kept on having issues with my breathing, and I was gaining a lot of weight, and I didn't really know why. I just know I was gaining a lot of weight. So one of the times I was walking in a restaurant, I just couldn't walk anymore. So I had to tell my employees to go ahead and call the ambulance so they could take me to the hospital. Ended up 7 days in a hospital. I would say I went to the hospital like 6 times last year. Well, starting the end of the year and then through this year, I ended up about 6 times. And each time that I went, it would be anywhere from 3 to 7 days that I would have to stay. They said that the hospital had a program for me, and I would get visited by some nurses. And when they started coming in, they gave me some tools to use. They gave me things to weigh myself so I could keep track of these things. And they gave me a way of at any time that I wanted to, I could actually call them if I had any questions, and they would answer back. And I had over 19 medications that I had to take. And a lot of times I would take them the wrong way, and it would affect my everyday life. But once I got together with them and they showed me, they brought me up to date, they showed me where to get them, I was more comfortable taking them, and therefore it made a difference. And some of the foods that I thought it was okay to have actually weren't okay. The salt, the sodium, all that kind of stuff, they were pretty knowledgeable about it. And little things like how to rest, your feet should be elevated, and I just thought by just laying down they were elevated, but they showed me how to elevate them. And so they did a lot of stuff that you kind of hear about it, but until somebody actually puts a hands-on, so to speak, you understand it a little better.
I was diagnosed about 8 years ago with emphysema and bronchitis, and a few years later I was diagnosed with COPD. At one point I was given medication by one of my doctors that I wasn't really instructed as to how to use the medicine correctly. So I was using it incorrectly, and my breathing was really strange then. Well, when the clinician was here, she helped to clarify how to use them and how to use them properly, because I have several different ones and I'm supposed to use them at different times, and there's different ways of using them that I hadn't had anyone explain to me before. I would start getting shortness of breath, and I would start immediately to grab for my inhaler, and she showed me how to breathe in through my nose and exhale slowly through my mouth until I got to the point where I didn't have to have my inhaler. Every time I started getting shortness of breath, it was panicking and using my inhaler instead of using my body to help control my breathing. They would listen to my breathing through the stethoscope. They would put this little thing on my finger that read my oxygen level. I had to wear one of the little devices on my finger for a 24-hour period to check to see if I would be needing oxygen, which I was extremely fortunate and didn't. And the clinician would share the information with my doctor.
So it's made me a little more conscientious of what you're doing as far as your health, and I haven't been as sick. I haven't had to go to the hospital, and I don't like going to the hospital any more than anybody else. But I think it's a good service for the simple fact, they check up on you. If you have a question, you call them, they're there for you. If they have a question, they don't hesitate to call somebody that knows the answer.
Now that I've completed the program, I'm much more energetic, and I feel better about myself knowing the red flags that they pointed out to me, and that this way I will know the warning signs.
After I got with the program, we've done quite a few little parties, get-togethers. I may not do what I used to do years ago, but I definitely put my 2 cents in, so to speak, and we have a good time again, and that's what's important.
I had difficulty even walking to my mailbox to retrieve my mail, and now that I've gone through the program, I find it's much easier to go to the mailbox. Plus, an added thing is I have no problem walking to the department store to shop and go other places, enjoy myself, where before I was just at home on the couch doing nothing.